All right, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam and GM Andrew Berry with newly head coach Todd Monken continue to make moves to build out this roster. We already know a slew of veterans they are not bringing back. We already know David Njoku, gone. A bunch of offensive linemen who are sabotagers, gone. There are more veterans, and some of these guys aren't bad players. One of these guys is a really, really good player who I would love to be back on the Cleveland Browns team, but it appears that Browns front office is getting rid of more veterans off of this team. We have to get into this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. As always, let's get right into things. So we go here to Sports Illustrated. And it says 5 Cleveland Brown veterans who might not be on the roster next season. Here are a few Browns players who might have played their last games in Cleveland. Now, here it says the Browns are facing a crucial offseason with the new head coach Todd Monken coming on board. Several veteran players may not return to the roster. Some players might find themselves wearing another team's uniform next season or even considering retirement. Left guard, Joe Bitonio. Now, we already know these offensive line sabotagers, gone. Joe Bitonio is going to be out of here. He's long in the tooth. You need to get younger and build up this offensive line. Wyatt Teller is going to be gone. He's going to be a free agent, and we know that he called out Kevin Stefanski for lying about his injuries. Kevin Stefanski kept saying this dude was hurt. And actually, I don't think Wyatt Teller was a sabotager. He was someone who was actually trying to block people. And for maybe that's the reason Kevin Stefanski lied and said he was hurt and wouldn't play him. Wyatt Teller had a spat with Kevin Stefanski. And it is what it is. He'll be gone. Tight end David Njoku. So those 3 gone. You know, David Njoku already put it out there on Instagram. He's gone. Now here are the 2 other guys who look like they may not be returning back to this roster. We start with linebacker Devin Bush, who I think had a magnificent season. Devin Bush was flat out balling this year. Flat out balling on the defensive side of the football. Here it says Bush is coming off a fantastic season in his second year with the Browns. Cleveland would undoubtedly love to bring him back, but he might command a significant market value in free agency. The Browns may not be in a position to offer a substantial contract to a linebacker, especially since they drafted the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schlesinger, in the 2025 NFL Draft, who can hold down the linebacker group at a cheaper option. So Devin Bush, who played some great football, might be on his way out because he might be able to collect the baggy bag elsewhere that he cannot collect with the Cleveland Browns. So Devin Bush very well could be on his way out. We keep it moving. Another guy, Jerome Ford, running back. Here it says Ford's time in Cleveland seemed to be coming to an end as the Browns drafted 2 running backs in the 2025 NFL Draft, with Dylan Sampson being more of a third down back who could take on the role Ford has held over the past 4 seasons. It raises questions about the need to bring Ford back, given the Browns have several gaps to fill in the roster. Keeping Ford while having 3 running backs who performed well in the rookie seasons wouldn't quite add up. Now, I don't know if this Jerome Ford situation changes with the Quinshon Judkins injury. You know, we got some updates on his situation, and maybe things aren't following the timeline that they first anticipated. And he's going to take more time to even get back to the rehabilitation portion of his injury. And maybe that plays a part in Jerome Ford sticking around for a bit. But with Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford very well could be on his way out as well. So Browns front office continuing to make moves to shape this roster, and it appears there may be more veterans that are on their way out. Let's go over to the Daily Grossy over on ESPN Cleveland as they address some of the moves coming up in free agency with the Cleveland Browns and a potential trade.
Todd Monken is putting a staff together. We've been talking about it. The DC search got interesting yesterday because new candidates were added, And Tony, some of those candidates don't come from the Jim Schwartz system. Where do you think things are at right now? I do want to add, Todd Monken did a virtual Q&A today with season ticket holders and partners, and he said that he wanted the staff to be completed by Friday, which was interesting. So where do you think things are at right now? And what if they do go outside the Schwartz scheme?
Well, we have 7 names that have been reported to be candidates, and 3 of them really have experience in the Jim Schwartz system, and 4 of them do not. So it's going to be interesting. I know that Todd Monken has said he wants to keep the same system because the team has been built for it specifically, with press corners and penetrating defensive tackles. You don't have a big nose tackle on this team to be a run stopper. There's certain unique qualities that have fitted to Jim Schwartz's defense. So that's why he wants to keep the same system. But my question is, if he goes with one of these 4 candidates who have no experience in his system, does that mean they might tweak the system towards what they're used to? And I don't know how that turns out, but it is interesting that 4 of the candidates, at least reported candidates, really have never been exposed to Schwartz's system, unless I'm wrong and somewhere they have. But there's the 2 in-house candidates, Jason Tarver and Ephraim Banda. And then the other candidate who really has a lot of connections to this position is Corey Undlin. Most recently, he's been with Houston as defensive backs coach, and they run the same Schwartz system. He worked with Schwartz when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And he spent 2 years in Jacksonville with Todd Monken, who was receivers coach at the time. And he also has been here before in Romeo Crennel. So
I think Undlin is the favorite to get this job. I think the fact that he does have familiarity with the Jim Schwartz system, and I mean that Houston Texans, they ran similar scheme, pretty much same scheme, and they were hellacious on the defensive side of the football, just like the Cleveland Browns. I think Corey Undlin is the front runner to collect this job. I think the 2 in-house guys, they're getting a look, but I think this is Undlin's job to lose. I think if he wants this job, I think it's his. I don't see the point in going and getting someone with a completely different system. So at that point, yeah, maybe one of the in-house guys would get it if Undlin wasn't the guy, but you definitely want to get someone who's going to keep that system or something similar. But we will see what happens. Get down in the comments and let me know what you guys are thinking. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.